Hello all and welcome. Thank you for joining Knox Partner Program Global Webinar. My name is Mateusz Andrusiewicz. I am working for Samsung R&D Poland in Knox Partner Program Europe team. Our today's topic for the webinar is BlackBerry Spark and Samsung Knox. Our speakers for this webinar are Steve Clary, who is the Alliances and Business Development Director at BlackBerry, and Gurvesh Putiani, who manages the BlackBerry partnership in Samsung Electronics America. Before we start, I would like to ask you to write the questions in the question tab on your GoToWebinar panel. They will be addressed to the speakers at the end of the webinar during Q&A session. Now, without further ado, let me pass my voice to Steve.
Hello, thanks for the introduction. Again, my name's Steve Clary. For the last 3 years or so, I've been the BlackBerry lead for our partnership with Samsung. And I always welcome an opportunity to speak with both partners and customers about the great things that BlackBerry and Samsung have developed together. And really appreciate everyone joining the webinar today from various spots around the globe. I'm speaking to you today from my home office in Ottawa, Canada. So let's jump right into it. We've got a lot of material to cover. Firstly, quick snapshot at the agenda. So we're going to level set again a bit and talk about BlackBerry Spark and Samsung Knox, which are really the platform for enterprise mobility that we like to promote together and continue to develop together. We're going to focus a bit on the endpoints and the services that are tied directly to those endpoints. Samsung has a broad range of device choices for our customers suited for various job roles. Gurvesh will provide an overview of those. And then we'll also talk about some exciting new services that we've built into our platform based on Knox, namely E-FOTA and the Knox Service Program. And from there, we're going to talk about users and use cases. So in the new reality here, the new norm, with most of us working from home, I don't think many of us anticipated this was going to be the case 12 months ago. And certainly many of our customers did not anticipate that and were somewhat caught off guard. But we're able to leverage BlackBerry and Samsung technologies to get the remote workers up and running quickly. So we'll talk a little bit about those, as well as some traditional frontline workers, mobile-first workers, and showcase some of the use cases that we've exploited together through our joint solutions. So with that, let's kick things off. So this is the BlackBerry Spark platform. The BlackBerry Spark platform is based on zero trust architecture and designed to secure people, devices, networks, and apps. BlackBerry Spark consists of two primary components: BlackBerry Unified Endpoint Management, which was the foundational layer, and BlackBerry Endpoint Security, which is the crowd-driven AI security services layer. The UES layer is based on technology that came out of an acquisition BlackBerry made about, almost 2 years ago, I guess, when we acquired a company called Cylance. Cylance is a world leader in AI-based device endpoint security, with a focus on desktops primarily. And as you know, BlackBerry has a long legacy in terms of mobile and security on mobile. So it was kind of a match made in heaven in the sense that it brings together leaders in the desktop endpoint security space with leaders in the mobile management space. And over the last 12 months or so, our teams have worked together very hard to integrate those solutions and develop the BlackBerry Spark platform. So with that, I'm going to talk about the various components of UEM to begin with, and then we'll jump into Knox and then carry on with the BlackBerry Unified Endpoint Security layer. So most of you know BlackBerry UEM. It's been around for a while, was known before as BlackBerry Enterprise Server. We could probably spend an hour and a half or more just talking about the integrations between Samsung Knox and BlackBerry Enterprise Server, but I'm going to focus and try and summarize it over a couple slides here. Effectively, the BlackBerry UEM component of Spark provides IT command and control. It provides a single console to allow users to deploy, secure, and manage all their endpoints. Really, what I like to refer to as a single pane of glass. In today's enterprise environment, diverse amount of endpoints has created some interesting challenges for our customers. Most of our customers obviously have mobile endpoints that they secure and manage, desktops of various platforms, but are also introducing additional endpoints such as wearables, IoT devices, and there's a high desire there to standardize on the policies that are extended to these services and to be able to concentrate and consolidate how they manage these services. So one of the great challenges is being able to manage all those, and BlackBerry UEM does a fantastic job managing a variety of endpoints. these endpoints bring with them different deployment modes. So most companies, BlackBerry just introduced recently a BYO program. So many of our employees are bringing their own device. So very important that those devices are secured for work capabilities and also, connected appropriately. Legacy companies who have been mobile a while have corporate-owned devices, but those corporate-owned devices could be configured for business only, or they could be configured for work and personal, so allowing users to have personal content on their business device. And then kiosks are becoming more and more important. So banking, retail outlets, not uncommon to see devices that are there for customer service, and those devices need to be secured and managed. So the ability for UEM to support all these various deployment modes is very important and creates a comprehensive platform for our customers. In some industries like healthcare, financial services, adhering to compliance requirements is extremely important. And BlackBerry UEM has followed through with our customer requirements and introduced some interesting capabilities together with Samsung to be able to audit all types of communication and provide sophisticated tracking of things like correspondence with customers. If you're in the banking industry and you're a trader, you need to track and audit all types of communications with your customers, be that voice, text, whatever. And we're able to do that with BlackBerry UEM. And finally, at BlackBerry, I believe it's around 90% or even higher of our Android endpoints are Samsung-based. So the ability for us to extend the comprehensive set of device action controls and security policies that come with the Knox platform is really important. And we're proud at the level of integration we have with the Knox platform, and we continue to extend that support as Samsung comes out with new capabilities, and Gervesh is going to review a lot of those. And finally, the BlackBerry UEM platform also includes some components that are kind of outside traditional device management, but can be configured through the same console. And those solutions are in areas such as two-factor authentication, where it's now possible to displace hardware tokens that you may have in place to authenticate to VPN and replace those with VPN authentication on your device itself. So using your smartphone as a device. So really important that all these capabilities are available. Equally important that we provide IT with the dashboard and reporting that they require to maintain a stable environment and to keep their environment up and running. And finally, I guess we're really proud of some recent accreditations, especially the Knox validation that we received. Samsung has gone out and evaluated how we've implemented Samsung Knox and our ability to support our customers, and awarded us with the Samsung Knox validated status. And similarly, we have Android Enterprise recommended to kind of validate our integration with Android Enterprise. And these together are very important as Samsung Knox and Android Enterprise continue to evolve the way they work together. So along with the centralized command and control, it's also important to have an environment that provides secure connectivity from the wired world to the wireless world. And BlackBerry has a very effective yet simple model for doing that. And the reason we're able to do this simple model is because we have a component in our infrastructure called the BlackBerry Network Cloud. The BlackBerry Network Cloud connects tens of thousands of our customers with hundreds of wireless networks to kind of bridge the wired world and the wireless world. And by doing this, it enables a connectivity model that's based on a single firewall connection. So it's an outbound initiated connection that becomes bidirectional, providing secure connectivity for tens of thousands of users through a single firewall port. This delivers enhanced VPN-like performance, but at a fraction of the cost and nowhere near the complexity that our customers face when trying to support tens of thousands of inbound firewall connections that are traditionally required with the traditional VPN architecture. So BlackBerry connectivity is what we call this. It's included in the BlackBerry UEM platform and something that our customers leverage to provide remote connectivity for their users in a secure, trusted fashion. So that's about the platform, I guess. We talked about command and control and connectivity, but really what it's all about is enabling your workers with productivity applications. BlackBerry has a platform called Dynamics. Dynamics was originally developed by Good Technology, which we acquired about 4, maybe 5 years ago. And Dynamics is an application development environment. It's a container environment, some would describe it, that provides a secure level of application integration. And it gives our customers 4 primary areas that they can leverage this. The first is with Blackberry UEM, we include a suite of BlackBerry applications, and that includes BlackBerry Work, which is often regarded as the best in class in terms of enterprise email, calendaring, tasks, and memo clients, and BlackBerry Access, which is a secure browser. So these applications are enabled using the Dynamics environment. We also have many customers that leverage an SDK that's part of UEM to build custom dynamic applications for their environments. Over 4,000 of these applications have been developed by our customers, and these are mission-critical applications that they rely on a daily basis. Thirdly, and recently, we've worked with Microsoft, and they're leveraging their Intune Graph API to develop a secure connectivity with Microsoft applications. We call the product BlackBerry Enterprise Bridge, and what it allows users to do is to integrate and work together with the Microsoft apps and the Dynamics environment. So a simple example would be you're using the BlackBerry Work email client, you receive an email with a Microsoft Word attachment. The ability to open that attachment in the secure Dynamics environment, edit that file, reattach it to the email and reply without that attachment being in the clear or being subject to any sort of data leakage risk is extremely important to our customers. In fact, this solution was developed based on requirements from a number of our financial services customers. And then the fourth area is prepackaged apps. So we've got a thriving ecosystem of 100 plus application developers that have integrated the Dynamics SDK into their products to allow it to integrate in a secure fashion with BlackBerry apps, custom apps, and Microsoft apps. And these applications from our ISVs cover use cases such as annotation, document editing, business intelligence, video conferencing, instant messaging, so a wide variety of applications, and you can review what's available from our ISVs on the BlackBerry marketplace. And what's really exciting to me, and Gravesh, I think will talk about this a little bit later, is how we've integrated this with Samsung DeX. So Samsung DeX is a really great solution. I won't steal Gravesh's thunder, but we've integrated our applications to take advantage of the DeX environment and offer our customers a really powerful solution for especially for mobilizing home workers. Okay, that was a real quick fly through on the BlackBerry UEM platform. I'm going to turn it over to Gravesh now to talk about Samsung Knox.
Thank you, Steve. Hi, everyone. So we introduced Samsung Knox back in 2013 to really secure Android on our Samsung devices for really enterprise consumption. So we were not able to position our devices because of security concerns, and we built security into our devices from the ground up, all the way from the hardware to securing the OS, and then the applications around it. Over the years, we have evolved. You might know of Knox as a container only, but now we've done a lot of alignment with Google. We've actually given some of our security features to Google to secure Android as a whole for the entire community and ecosystem. And now we have repositioned ourselves to have Knox as be positioned as a device platform that is there embedded into the hardware and the OS and the software of all Samsung devices. And then on top of that, we've introduced an enterprise-grade platform. And on top of that platform, we built a number of cloud solutions and IT services that are out of the box and help our customers to configure devices, to manage security, to manage firmware updates, and also to be able to do other things that we just talked about. So on our device platform, all the security is chained to a hardware root of trust, and this security turns on if the second you turn on the power button. And this kicks in right away at every step of the boot process. The integrity of each bootloader is checked by this trust zone integrity management architecture. Once the device boots up, we have something called runtime kernel protection that continuously monitors unauthorized access to system resources. And we have built-in SE for Android for application separation and domains. And then on top of that, we have a management network. management framework that BlackBerry utilizes. So all of this fits in. Trying to go to the next slide. So this, as I said, the device platform at the bottom is there on every device, even consumer devices. On top of that, all the differentiated enterprise features that we have are now offered in this Knox platform for enterprise, which is built on top of Android Enterprise. So Android Enterprise is really included in this enterprise platform, and all these features together offer the best of what Samsung and Google provide to our enterprise customers. And on top, we built in these services like Knox Configure is a tool for quick and simple initial configuration of the device. And then we have Knox Mobile Enrollment to enroll thousands of devices in an automated fashion. BlackBerry is fully integrated with that. And then BlackBerry has implemented a very comprehensive set of features from this platform for enterprise to offer a lot of capabilities. BlackBerry UEM automatically unlocks all of these features and offers to our customers. Of late, what is new is we have worked with Google and their OEM config initiative to offer Knox service plugin for 0-day support of Samsung features. I'll cover that separately, but this is something new with BlackBerry, where BlackBerry is now completely integrated with the Knox service plugin, and our customers will benefit from this. BlackBerry also has integrated into Knox DualDAR, which is a capability to offer two separate layers of encryption on the Android work profile. This can be used using a crypto library that is offered by us, which is fully certified for classified use, or someone can also use their own crypto library and basically plug it into this framework and be able to have a separate layer of encryption for data at rest in the Knox in the Android work profile using BlackBerry. And this is natively integrated into BlackBerry, so this is something unique. We have a firmware update service which I'll talk about, and this is also offered by BlackBerry. Key thing is that BlackBerry is reselling these two features, the Knox DualDAR and also the Knox E-FOTA service, and so you're free to go to BlackBerry and directly purchase it through them. So as I mentioned, we have the Knox platform for enterprise, which is built on top of Android Enterprise. And we have a lot of these features. We just talked about DualDAR, data at rest. We have a lot of customization features. We have a mode that kicks in to give you common criteria certification for all our government customers. We have unique VPN capabilities, like VPN chaining, where you can chain the traffic of one VPN onto another to have two VPNs tunneling within each other. Our VPN also has certain differentiated features that give you a completely non-bypassable VPN in the corner cases also, such as if a device suddenly boots up or some app crash, or any of these corner cases ensure that there is absolutely no data leakage for any traffic that is designated to go over a VPN. So as I mentioned, Knox service plugin is something new. So over the last 1 year, 1 or 2 years, we have worked with Google to work with them on their OEM config initiative, which really allows someone like Samsung to offer unique capabilities directly to our UEM partners such as BlackBerry. So we build a set of features from the Knox platform for enterprise in an application called the Knox service plugin. We published this in Google Play, and this is fully integrated with BlackBerry. So you can, as an end user or end customer, go to Google Play, download this application, and install it using BlackBerry console. The instructions on how to do that. And automatically, all the new latest and greatest policies that are available in the Knox platform for enterprise will show up in the BlackBerry console. So what this means is this is true day zero support for all new features that Samsung comes up with every device release out of the box. You don't need any additional development or anything changed in the console or even in the BlackBerry agent to be able to utilize the latest and greatest features. And this is great because now our customers are able to benefit from everything that Samsung offers right away without waiting a year or two for BlackBerry to do something, which used to be the case. And going forward, we'll be building more and more onto this Knox Service plugin. So some of the features that can be unlocked from this Knox Service plugin. So we have a lot of features in the platform that are paid features, and there are a lot of features that are free. And with BlackBerry, our customers have a unique benefit that all the paid features that are from the Knox platform for enterprise are automatically offered for free to our end customers. So customers don't need to procure a separate license key from anyone to be able to use the free features and the paid features. So, for example, one of the paid features is to remap the hardware key on the Xcover Pro device, which is a ruggedized device that we launched recently. So it has a key on the top and a key on the left that can be remapped to do things like invoke a push-to-talk capability in a PTT application. We recently announced integration with Microsoft Teams, where you can use this remap this key to invoke push-to-talk capabilities in Microsoft Teams, for example. And this remapping of the key to do these things usually requires a paid license. With BlackBerry, this is available to you right away without really even requiring an additional license. So, and all these settings are directly available through the Knox Service plugin. You don't really need, BlackBerry does not need to implement anything new to be able for you to utilize this feature set. It's all there for you right away. So another feature that we just launched recently, about 2 months ago, was around Wi-Fi roaming in some of these larger warehouses where you have these carts that are roaming around across different access points and they need seamless connectivity. So you can use the Knox Service plugin now to pre-configure these Wi-Fi parameters on the device, including whitelisting of MAC IDs, so that there is seamless Wi-Fi connectivity across the warehouse, no matter where you are. And this is available out of the box again with the Knox Service plugin. So another capability which is upcoming in Android 11 is really around what the Android enterprise team is working on from a privacy perspective. So for a fully managed device that has a work profile on it, and customers want to manage both the work profile and the device, there is a new mode coming, work profile on company-owned devices. And this is great for any customers who require privacy for end users, in the sense that any policy that violates the end user's privacy on the device side, or what is called the personal side, is really not allowed from a UEM perspective. So something very basic like installation of applications on the device side will not be allowed. You will have full management capabilities on the work profile side, but limited management capabilities on the device side. Now, some of our customers, especially in the regulated verticals, don't have some additional needs to have full management on both the work profile and on the device side. Or a lot of times what they really want is some kind of separation between work-approved apps and work apps. So they do not allow on corporate-owned devices every app, and even if it is used, for productivity by someone, something like Uber, which is not really a work app, but is a work-approved app. But for these work-approved apps, they want them to be isolated in a separate space. So that's exactly what Samsung is offering in Android 11. We are offering a feature set called app separation, which will be available immediately through the Knox service plugin, without really any additional integration that is required from BlackBerry. So this is great for our customers, especially in the regulated vertical, who have a need to separate applications from, that are used for work and really have data and information that needs to be separated from other work-approved apps. So here's a list of most of the features that are in Knox Service plugin. The intent of this slide is not to go through every feature, but if you look at the green features, these are all the paid features that I was talking about. And all of these paid features actually are available to BlackBerry customers for free. You don't need an extra license to unlock them. So this is really something unique coming from the partnership between BlackBerry and Samsung. So just to give you an idea of what day zero support means, on Note 20, we introduced a capability to remap some of the key presses on the left button of the device. And that capability is already available in the Knox Service plugin. We launched the Note 20 device less than a month ago. And if you purchase a brand new device, you're able to leverage that capability right away without the need of any additional development. But from our partnership, our customers benefit from all these feature sets directly from BlackBerry without the need of any additional cost to them, which is a unique capability there, or unique benefit that we are offering through our partnership. So Knox E-FOTA, we have over the last several years, we had launched a service called Enterprise FOTA Service to manage software updates on our devices. We launched this service with BlackBerry and other UEMs, and we called it E-FOTA for MDM. Then for our on-premise customers, we had something called E-FOTA Advanced, and over time, there were feature gaps in both, and really what our customers were asking for was, like a one single solution that offers everything together. What we introduced in March earlier this year is E-FOTA One. This is a comprehensive E-FOTA service from Samsung. It's fully integrated into BlackBerry. This service actually pulls all the device and group information from BlackBerry. So if you have a BlackBerry UEM deployed in your organization, when you deploy the E-FOTA One service, we will pull your device and group information into the E-FOTA One console, where you can apply firmware update policies. So with E-FOTA service, we give you full control over software or firmware updates on the devices. We let you do a forced update without the need for end user to do anything. We can combine certain capabilities like doing a forced update while specifying the exact time and exact software version that you want to update to. So this is great for customers, especially when you have custom or internal apps that you have built and a major software update like Android 11 comes in, and you're not sure whether everything is going to work seamlessly once you upgrade your devices to this new firmware. You can actually ensure that your devices are always updated to a certain version that has been fully tested by you and approved, And then over time, once you are comfortable after testing your internal applications and your line of business applications, you can specify another OS version to go to. So, for example, when the first Android 11 update comes, it will take you some time to test it. And by the time you finish testing, there's probably 2 other Android 11 updates, but you haven't tested the latest one. You can actually make sure that all your devices are updated to, the first Android 11 update, so that there is business continuity and no disruption in your service. And we give you full control. You can specify the time at which the update happens, at 3 a.m. in the morning, for example. You can specify the network. You can also specify the percentage of battery that needs to be there before an update is started, so that you can ensure that once an update starts, it's fully completed.
If I can say a few words about E-FOTA on our side, we're getting fantastic interest from our customers. This is something that we just recently completed the integration with Samsung on, and a number of our customers have pilots going, and the feedback's been fantastic. So really excited to work with you. If you'd like to test this out in your environment, we have the ability to set up proof of concepts and work closely with the Samsung team to ensure that you're able to evaluate that. So with that, let's move on to BlackBerry Unified Endpoint Security. So this is where BlackBerry UES fits into the BlackBerry Spark. BlackBerry UES is again designed to protect people, devices, networks, and apps, largely based on the technology we acquired from Cylance. The Cylance and BlackBerry teams have been working the last year or so to integrate BlackBerry UES into BlackBerry Spark, to be able to leverage some of our existing capabilities for mobile and extend the Cylance capabilities, and deliver a solid platform that's based on 6 pillars. We're going to cover 4 of those pillars that are available today, and those are endpoint protection, mobile threat defense, which is the equivalent of endpoint protection on mobile, and endpoint detection and response, which is the remediation, being able to address threats, and continuous authentication. The other 2, DLP and Secure Web Gateway, are coming soon, and we'll be pleased to sit down with you again later this year to talk more about those capabilities. But BlackBerry UES is designed as an artificial intelligence-based threat defense and detection service. And with that, let's take a look at it in more detail. Okay, so BlackBerry Threat Defense is delivered through 2 products, really. BlackBerry Protect for detection, and that covers traditional desktop, laptop environments as well as mobile, and BlackBerry Optics, which handles the remediation side of things. So traditional threat defense solutions are typically based on signature files. These signature files are used to describe threat or risks and are maintained by armies of people, threat researchers usually. And then they use device scans to search for these threats. What we found is this method of doing this is terribly inefficient and does a really poor job detecting zero-day attacks. So the BlackBerry threat defense approach, based on Cylance, takes a different approach. We leverage the power of machines, not humans, and what we do is we dissect static files DNA. So we use then artificial intelligence to compare this DNA to known characteristics of bad content. And this characteristics of bad content is derived from us analyzing billions of file types, literally billions, over time, and we continue to analyze more to improve our engine. So BlackBerry Protect then determines if the code is safe to run based on the characteristics that are displayed and compared against that AI engine. So the real differentiator for us is our ability to leverage AI to analyze these threat vectors before they launch and can do damage, delivering zero-day protection against most threats. And a good example of this is the WannaCry outbreak. I'm sure many of you have heard of that. That was 2 or 3 years ago, but it was terrible and infected over 300,000 computers and wreaked terrible carnage for a number of our customers that weren't using the Cylance solution. But what was discovered from our customers was that those customers using Cylance Protect back in 2017, when WannaCry was released, were safe. And the WannaCry virus was detected by 2-year-old versions of Cylance. So because of the way we characterize bad file types, and those characteristics don't change over time much, we were able to provide zero-day protection of WannaCry, even from customers who hadn't updated their client codes in 2 years. So pretty good example there of the power of using AI-based threat detection. When we use that same type of architecture to extend the threat prevention to things like phishing threats, malicious URL detection, and malware scanning. And because of the way it's architected, it also is extremely effective when offline. So the ability to detect threat vectors that may come across USB or other peripherals such as mass media. And what's really important also is for customers that are using the full BlackBerry Spark platform, that is BlackBerry UEM as well as UES, the controls for BlackBerry Protect are managed through the same single pane of glass or console that we use for BlackBerry UEM. So BlackBerry Optics is an extension of BlackBerry Protect, and what it does is endpoint detection and response. So that the key benefits and the capabilities of Optics include the ability to create scripts and actually go threat hunting to search and analyze your endpoints in very granular details, check out and investigate things like registry keys, files, and network connections to try and discover threats before they are prevalent. The other thing it allows you to do is once a threat is discovered or a suspicious endpoint that could have threats is discovered, it's got powerful capabilities to isolate those impacted endpoints, so there's no danger of them spreading the attack throughout your organization. And finally, BlackBerry Optics also includes some interesting forensics capabilities. So post-threat analysis, the ability to leverage AI to do root cause analysis, to understand how an attack may have entered your environment and take corrective actions to prevent it in the future. And similar to Protect, the Optics command and control is also done from the BlackBerry UEM command and control console, but it's also possible if you're not using BlackBerry UEM to have a BlackBerry UES console that runs separately to manage both Optics and BlackBerry Protect. The next component that I'm going to talk about is BlackBerry Persona. So BlackBerry Persona is also based on intelligent security and is really all about the ability to create a security posture that's based on dynamic IT policies. So the traditional approach, again, to securing endpoints, which most of our customers have leveraged for years, is static policies. But what we find is static IT policies really don't promote user productivity and often don't react quick enough to detect threats. So our strategy is to enable you to bridge the gap between zero trust, which is a goal for IT, and zero touch, which is the goal for users. And again, we do all this with AI-based security that leverages dynamic security policies. So how does this all work with Persona? Well, what we do is we use sensor data to collect all kinds of information from the user and artificial intelligence to analyze that data. So examples of the data we collect are user behavior, their location, the networks they're connecting to, and the level of trust we assign to those networks, time and usage characteristics or anomalies, and even look at device and app DNA to check for updates and versions and modifications at the system level. So once we collect all that data, we then create risk models using AI again from this data. So running the data then on an ongoing basis through the risk models, we calculate risk scores. And it's these risk scores which activate appropriate dynamic policies. So you can think about this. So I enter my headquarters, the BlackBerry headquarters. The system detects that I'm on a corporate network, that I'm in a headquarters, that I always show up between 9 and 10, and it pushes down a modified policy that will lengthen the timeout between device lockup, extend the authentication to various applications, give me full access to corporate data. I step outside the office and go for lunch at a restaurant, jump onto a public Wi-Fi or public data network. It detects that and we will revise the policy to one that's a little bit more strict, prohibiting access to certain corporate data, requiring sign-in to specific applications, requiring that the device password be updated or entered, every 5 minutes instead of every 20 minutes. So the real power of this is the ability to push down these dynamic policies. And through this, Persona is able to both meet the needs of IT by delivering increased endpoint security and preventing threats such as device and app cloning, but also delivering an enhanced user experience by giving users an adaptive policy posture that's actually based on real context versus a static policy. So enabling zero sign-in, I talked about increasing timeout interviews or adjusting the requirements based on the environment. So Persona also lives within BlackBerry Spark and uses the same console. So again, it can be monitored from the BlackBerry UEM command and control console and configured by IT. But if you're not using BlackBerry UEM, you can use the Silence UES console to manage all of this. So this is really cool technology, and both Persona and the BlackBerry Protect and Optics solutions, are areas that we continue to work more closely with Samsung to try and understand how we can enhance these solutions together. Okay, now let's jump to real-world scenarios here and talk a little bit about how our customers are leveraging Samsung and BlackBerry technologies to transform their business with mobility. So this is an interesting summary of a study that was done by Ostman Research. I believe the study was back in June when they asked a number of IT executives to kind of provide feedback on their readiness for the COVID-19 situation and the requirement to enable people to work from home. And kind of some interesting findings here, not surprising, I guess, but before the pandemic, the average was 18% of the workforce was defined as remote. That had shifted to 80%, and I'd argue that number in most industries is even higher probably. But what's interesting is that many of the organizations have determined that this is the wave of the future and that, work from home is going to be the norm. But when these guys kind of reflected on how equipped they were, only 19% of them said they were prepared, very well prepared to enable remote working. And I think those 19% were probably BlackBerry and Samsung users because they were able to leverage some of the technologies that we've talked about today and that we'll cover in the next couple of slides to enable their organization. But I guess the message here is that most organizations were not prepared to enable vast amounts of remote workers from home out of the gate. So let's talk about how BlackBerry and Samsung have helped our customers adapt to that. So I talked about Dynamics. This is the secure mobile app environment that we include BlackBerry UEM. What I didn't talk about is how easy it is to deploy this. It's really a three-step process, and this is the tool that our customers, many of our customers, use to deploy and enable tens of thousands of workers over a long weekend in the wake of the pandemic. So it's as easy as configuring the user, allowing the user to have access to the applications on BlackBerry UEM. Once this is done, the users are sent a link and a one-time access key to activate the app. And with that, through single sign-on, they're able to access any of the apps that IT has provided. And this can be sent and enabled on personal devices, personal phones, laptops, tablets, personal desktops, security assured that data is not going to leak or get outside the secure work container. And if you're in the Samsung environment, it also allows you to take advantage of the DeX platform, which Gravesh is going to talk about now. So really cool way to enable thousands of remote workers in a cost-effective manner. And we license our technology by user, not by device. So if you have BlackBerry UEM on your smartphone, you can have access to your Dynamics applications on your home PC. It really does simplify the process of being able to stay connected to the home office regardless of the situation. So with that, I'll pass it back to Gravesh, I think, to talk about Samsung DeX, which is really exciting technology.
Thanks, Steve. So all our Galaxy smartphones and a lot of our tablets, our flagship tablets, are enabled with this capability called Samsung DeX, which allows you to use your phone as a desktop. So essentially, what is Samsung DeX? You plug in your Samsung phone to any HDMI monitor or even a TV in your house. It transforms on the monitor or TV into a desktop-like experience where you can use all your applications in true, multi Windows mode. Each application transforms into a separate window, and with a keyboard and mouse, you can navigate just like you do on a PC. So this is great when it comes to work from home. this is a lot of our customers have actually started using DeX when it comes to remote work, and when we look at how remote work suddenly came on us in the beginning, people didn't have enough devices or not enough laptops in the home, where you have a family of 4 and only 2 laptops, and DeX was a great way to transition into this new normal where you can use your phone with your TV and start doing the workflows that require a keyboard and a mouse right from your phone. Over the years, we have changed and evolved our DeX capabilities. We started with just the pure DeX mode, dual DeX mode with Android experience on your phone and Windows-like experience on your desktop on the right. Then we evolved this onto tablets, where if you have a tablet with a keyboard and mouse, you get the DeX experience on the tablet itself without any need to have an additional display. And the latest and greatest in this world is wireless DeX from us. So with the Note 20 and the Tab S7 devices that were just launched, we have capabilities to use DeX wirelessly with any TV that is enabled with Miracast. And this is great when you look at, usually where your TVs are placed and where you are in the home as you're working, you can wirelessly connect and start using DeX right away. This is great for video conferences, and even when you go back to work and you're in the office, in video conference rooms, you have a seamless way to, shift from all the work that you're doing on the device directly to a huge display that you can use for, say, presentations. So one of the things that we saw with DeX is our customers started using it, and we have positioned this as a desktop replacement for a long time. And if you look at what happens when you position this in the enterprise, all our customers require additional control. So with the Blackberry UEM and the Knox Service plugin, we are offering a set of policies where you can control the end user experience on the device itself using certain policies. So you can, for example, disable certain apps in DeX mode so that when you are in the DeX experience on your display, for example, TikTok is not available or certain other apps are not available or disabled, and when you unplug the device, these apps become available. So these policies apply only in the DeX mode. We have a set of customization policies that are unique. Think about like when you join a new company, 2 people join the company and they get a new laptop, they have the exact look and feel with all their applications in the same place. So you can achieve a very similar experience with these DeX customization policies, where you can place the application, set the wallpaper and icons wherever you want, so that everybody has a similar experience. You can also enforce connectivity options in the DeX mode. For example, you can enforce use of Ethernet or Wi-Fi only when you're in the DeX mode, and go back to LTE when you are LTE or 5G when you are away from, when you unplug from the monitor. So these are great for having a customized and unique experience. And if you think about all of our services, you can combine them together to have a nice experience where you can ship a device directly from the carrier to a remote user and quickly onboard it into the Blackberry UEM and have it come up with all these policies in place, so that the device just boots up into a standard look and feel for everyone. So this is a great capability to enable remote work for your employees, and instead of shipping them a laptop or even sometimes a desktop, you can just ship them a phone and they can start doing work right away. So all of these capabilities that we talked about have allowed us to position our devices for unique use cases for in different verticals and different segments. We just talked about remote work. In healthcare, we can use you can lock down a device to say application for remote patient monitoring, for public safety, and for transportation. So we'll cover some of these in the next few slides. So with that, I'll pass on to Steve to cover how this is used in public safety.
Yeah, so real quick, we thought it would be good to highlight some of the use cases that kind of take advantage of our technology, and a couple of them here. So policing and public safety. This is a great case study from one of our joint customers in Canada, Waterloo Regional Police, that you can review later. But effectively, police forces over the last 5 or 10 years have really discovered the power in outfitting their foot patrol officers with devices that gives them access to criminal databases and the ability to issue citations and that kind of thing. But it didn't really solve the problem they had with having to maintain costly, ruggedized laptops in the vehicle. And with Samsung DeX, they've now discovered a solution for this. So the ability to replace these costly and complicated and difficult to manage ruggedized laptops in the vehicle with a simple monitor and keyboard that uses a smartphone with DeX as its computer power effectively, gives the officers the best of both worlds. So when they're in the vehicle, they get access to all the applications they need. When they step outside the vehicle, they just grab their Samsung device and have access to the exact same applications in the exact same system. So it's really, really delivering some powerful ROI in terms of reduced number of radio inquiries back to get information when they're outside the vehicle, less back office work when they're finished their shift, more time in the field, and it's really allowed police officers to become more productive. So this is an area where we really see the use of Samsung and BlackBerry technology growing over the next little bit as more and more of these police forces discover how they can leverage DeX for in-vehicle computing. This is another one, defense. I'll hand this one over to you, Gurvesh, to talk about what you've done with devices and so on for the defense market.
Yes, absolutely. So for our defense customers, we recently launched the S20 Tactical Edition. And this is really a mission-ready military smartphone that meets all mission requirements in tactical environments. What that means from a perspective of what we've done to enable this out of the box is that it supports all the tactical radios out of the box without the need to do anything extra. It supports full persistent communication in different domains as you transition from one domain to another. So this is together with BlackBerry, which is and BlackBerry is FedRAMP certified. So this becomes a unique combination for our defense customers. With Samsung DeX and the Tactical Edition, you can streamline in-vehicle integration for navigation, for situational awareness, for intelligence sharing, for quick intelligence sharing, and also it comes with the dual DAR enabled right away out of the box to offer extra security for your top secret data that can be put on these Tactical Edition devices, and also it enables secure communication, and of course it is fully managed by BlackBerry and full security offered by Knox. So this is a great example of all the military-grade feature sets that we offer from the platform, and we have created an out-of-the-box solution in the Tactical Edition with that.
Yeah, real quick, we're getting down on time, but I wanted to call out healthcare. I think Gurvesh touched on remote healthcare, which is certainly something that's become critical in these times, but also we're seeing tremendous uptake of BlackBerry Samsung solutions in home care. So these are nurses that are out servicing the increasing number of patients that are being discharged from the hospital sooner to recover at home. Having secure access to patient records has allowed them to have up-to-date and current information when they visit the patients, and also the ability to update those records right when they're talking to the patients. The ability to communicate with clinicians through text, voice, and even video when they're in front of the patient is important. And even little things like many of these large agencies that have thousands of nurses in the field have been able to recognize cost savings related to travel just because the systems are able to optimize their visits based on optimal route tracking and so on. And finally, for the individual nurses, they've got increased peace of mind knowing that they can turn on GPS tracking and even activate SOS services. So as they're visiting patients perhaps late in the evening in neighborhoods that might be a little undesirable, they can feel a lot safer. So we've got a great case study from one of our joint customers, VHA Home Healthcare, that kind of talks about that. I'm going to skip through this and get right to the summary here because we're getting short on time. But getting started here. So BlackBerry sells our software, including entitlement to Knox, as part of a Spark suite, a series of suites, actually. You can purchase the UEM components only, which includes access to Knox Platform for Enterprise. A subset of that is an entry-level SMB suite called the Express Suite. But for the purpose of our large enterprise customers, we offer the UEM suite that has Knox. We also offer a UES suite, which includes the threat detection and remediation solutions, Protect, Optics, and Persona. And then you can get everything included in what we call the BlackBerry Spark suite. So a number of options to really suit any need. But what's important to understand is that we have a unique arrangement with Samsung that sees us bundling entitlement to Knox Platform for Enterprise, which is the premium Knox feature, at no additional cost for the customer and no need for them to manage additional Knox licenses. We kind of take care of that for them. And Gurvesh, from a device point of view?
Yes, so we have devices in different categories that should fit the needs of all our customers. Our flagship devices, the latest ones we launched, the Note 20 and the Galaxy Tab S7. These are great for the knowledge workers, both for enterprise and SMBs. Then we have mid-tier devices, which are really our devices launched last year, which are still great for these same categories. I think the one thing to point out is our Field Ready or our Active series and the Xcover Pro. So these are fully ruggedized devices that can sustain harsh environments and have all the certifications so that you can use these in different field use cases where you require a device that can sustain harsh conditions. So essentially, we have a device for any type of need at any price point, and all of these devices are fully integrated with BlackBerry solutions. Our partnership is unique as BlackBerry is evolving into an AI-based security platform. We are enabling our platform, the Knox platform, to provide BlackBerry additional visibility or data to be better on a Samsung device. So you'll hear more things from BlackBerry and Samsung down the line around each of the blocks that Steve presented in the BlackBerry Spark platform. And we're continuously working together to evolve this and give better value to our customers.
So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining and thank Samsung for giving us an opportunity to speak today about all the great things we've done together and are doing together. We've got some information here, and this slide deck will be shared with the attendees so you can explore more detailed information on some of these solutions. And if you're interested in test driving any of them or taking a closer look or speaking with somebody from our sales department, there's a link there to reach out as well. And finally, I also wanted to promote the fact that BlackBerry's annual Security Summit, sponsored by Samsung once again this year, is happening October 6th or 7th. Like everything else these days, it's a virtual conference, but encourage you all, if you have an interest in security and IoT, we welcome your attendance and joining us for this session that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Guys, thank you very much for the webinar, Gurvesh, Steve. It was very beneficial and good knowledge sharing.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thanks for the feedback. And if there's anything else we can do, I know we have an audience today that consists of Samsung BlackBerry teams, partners, as well as customers. If there's any further information you require, please don't hesitate to reach out to Gurvesh or myself. And again, we really appreciate your time today. It's great to have an opportunity to speak with you, and hopefully we can help you implement secure solutions within your environment to address the growing threats that we have today. Thanks so much.